Ladies and gentlemen, we are back with a brand new episode of Turn Trouble Live. We took a break last week. I went on vacation. I know. Don't hold me accountable. I needed it. But today's guest, she is the host of the podcast Against All Odds. A good friend of mine, Terrilyn Hicks. How are you today?
Hey Trent, I'm doing really good. Crazy days, but those are always good things,
Oh,
right?
they're always great things. It keeps you
Yeah.
on your feet. So, Terrilyn, let's talk about your podcast Against All Odds. Where can people find it? How can they listen? Go ahead and do your whole spiel.
Right. So Against All Odds is actually a podcast for Black entrepreneurs. They can find it basically each week I talk to different entrepreneurs about their business, how they got started, how the some of the struggles that they're dealing with, anything and everything that regard in regards to their business is what I talk about. And I do different industries. So it could be one week I could have someone talking about how they're building their drop shipping startup. And then the next week, it could be talking about someone who's building up a poop scooping business. So it literally, I've had everything under the sun. And it's on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, all the basic podcast
Yeah.
platforms, Anchor. And then I also stream live from Fishbowl Radio Network plug on Facebook each week.
All right, all right. So it's for entrepreneurs. I think that's really cool because, especially back in 2020 when we had the riots and everything, their voices are now being heard, and it's great that people are having a platform for their voices to be heard. I've
Right.
had some influential black people on my show, and I give them that platform to speak, and it's awesome that you have a platform just for that, and I praise you for that.
Yeah, it's something that's actually really cool. I wouldn't have thought that I would be a person starting that just from my background and growing up. I actually didn't really grow up around a lot of Black people.
Really?
Yeah, I didn't. So what's kind of interesting is it kind of gave me a really interesting perspective.
Mm.
When you had all the things like the riots and things like that, having grown up in a different environment, it just gave me kind of a sort of I was kind of in the middle ground there
Mm.
with, okay, I actually did not grow up around a ton of Black people, but then also I am Black, so I do know what the Black experience is like and things like that. It kind of weirdly, in a kind of weird way, felt like being an outsider looking in, but also being an insider and able to look out and understand different perspectives.
Yeah.
As far as my podcast, I would say it kind of gives me a hey, I want to make this something that's really professional, and it doesn't have a feel of like it's less than or anything like that. It's professional. We keep it aspirational for
Mm.
people, but also it caters to that population at
Yeah.
the same time. So
Yeah. So let's talk about Against All Odds. Why is it called Against All Odds? Where'd you come up with that name?
Trenton, I actually was praying about it for a long time,
Mm.
and I was trying to think of a name, and I'm in marketing, so I thought of some really great names, and none of them worked
What were
at
some
the
of the
same time.
examples?
Huh?
What were some of the examples?
Oh man. Okay, so one of the ideas I had that I really liked was the black market.
Okay.
Um, which there's like the underground market, and
Yeah.
then black people, and yeah. So and then I think another idea was to make it clever, so I was like the spades table, which I don't know if you're like a spades guy, but like in black community that's like a big deal to sit at the spades table. Like if like you can be 30 and people are like, nah, you're a kid when it
Yeah.
comes to playing spades. And so it was kind of going to be something where it was like black entrepreneurs who were doing like big things, kind of sitting at the table to talk about those types of things. And Against All Odds came to me, and I remember actually thinking like, that's a stupid name. Like, what does that even mean? What that isn't. It's not SEO friendly. That's what I was thinking at first, and then I was just praying about it more, and I was like, I feel like that should be it, the name. And then there's a homeless guy that I see, because I work full time, that I see each day on my way to work, and I wanted to do a photo shoot project with him. And so I always noticed him every time I saw him. And he used to always have this sign up, and it said like Vietnam vet, please help, or something like that. And
Mm-hmm.
so I prayed about this name, got the idea for the name, didn't like it. Then kind of warmed up to it, and I saw this guy again, maybe like a week or two later, maybe a week or two later, and he had his same sign, and I knew it was going to say, Vietnam vet, and then again underneath it, it said against all odds, and I was like, what? Like those little. I think there's an author that calls them God winks.
Mm-hmm.
When there's just like coincidences that happen that you notice, then you're like, that's not a coincidence.
Yeah.
Um, yeah, and so I saw that, and I was like, what the heck? That doesn't even make sense on that sign. Like, it didn't even like Vietnam War vet against all odds. Like that doesn't grammatically make any sense. And so I was like, this might be a sign. And so, and the fact that his sign never said that before
Yeah.
at the bottom. So that was crazy.
Yeah, that is
Um,
interesting. I wish I had a
I
story like
know.
that. I just
I
like I
know.
was like, oh, Trenton Chapel Live. It's my name and then live. Yeah, that sounds
Right.
cool.
Usually that's the kind of stuff never happens to me. So um I chose the name. And then, my first few guests that I was booking, they just had these crazy, amazing stories. Like
Yeah.
you would hear their story and you'd be like, oh, there's no way they should be anywhere. Like there's no way they should be doing really anything. I think one of the first people that I interviewed was homeless at one time.
Oh wow.
I had another person who was she was making money. She'd gotten to like 6,000 or 6K months in like a few months as a private tutor.
Hmm.
And she started off, I was like, well, what made you get into private tutoring? And she's like, well, I graduated last in my class. And just every person had these stories that was kind of them being successful again,
Yeah.
even though the odds were against them. And that's kind of how Against All Odds was born.
Cool. I like that story. That's what's cool about your show is there's a story with how it becomes your show. See, like
Right.
mine's just like, oh, people ask me, oh, what came up Trenton Chapel Live? I was like, it sounded cool, you know. And then I
Hey
just
man, sometimes simple work.
Hey, fun fact, before we started doing like live video shows, it wouldn't be live. It would just be only audio, and I just upload it,
Right.
and people were like, "Why is it called Trenton Chapel Live if you're not live?" I was like,
Right.
"I don't know. It sounds cool." So,
It's live-ish, right?
it's live-ish. We do live audio
I
in person. But
mean,
yeah,
Saturday Night Live is
they're live.
live-ish.
They're
I
live.
mean, it is live, but like they practice it before. It's not like unrehearsed.
Yeah. I got some Saturday Night Live. Real quick, we are sponsored by Saved by Christ Apparel for the video today. Guys, clean merch they have over there. I have the hoodie, the I Am Destined hoodie. It looks so nice. I wish I can get it out, but it's far away and I don't want to get up. But this is the Just Pray off of the, Just Do It Nike catchphrase, but it's just pray. It's comfortable, it's nice, and guys, check them out. Go to savedbychristapparel.com. Use promo code TrentonC. That's TRENTONC to get 15% off your purchase. So Terrilyn, let me ask you
Hey,
this.
hey.
Let me ask you this. All right, with with you hosting a show about owning a business, do you own a
Mhm.
business?
Currently, I don't own a business. I have owned businesses. I actually had a poop scooping business a while back.
Wow.
And then I realized that I didn't want to be a professional poop scooper. And I was getting to a point, very quickly, I got to a point where I um, was like, okay, I need to like hire someone to continue doing this. And it was a bad business, but I decided to let it go. I had just had one kid, and where I had my second child, and I was like, you know what? I think I'm going to rest for a little bit instead of constantly having businesses and doing free. Well, I said I don't own a business, but I actually do freelance
Hmm.
all the time. And I freelance for some pretty big names. I guess Green Giant is one of my clients every now and then.
Wow.
And I know it's kind
Look
of a
at
weird thing.
you.
I know it's one, we all got a thing that's kind of impressive.
Yeah.
And I don't think I realized it was impressive until I started talking to people about it. I was like, yeah, Green Giant.
Yeah. I think the
Um,
one I have that's impressive is Lifetime.
Lifetime.
Like
Ooh.
I worked on a documentary episode, like it's a docu-series,
Mm-hmm.
and I worked on one of the episodes for Susan Smith. She's like
Right.
the famous baby killer, and I was a set designer for it. So all the prison shots and everything, and there's a scene where
Ooh.
one of the guards gets something from one of the female guards. I won't say what, but I dressed that office and everything, and
That's
it was
cool.
fun. I got to go to a real prison to do it.
I mean, it's basically like that show. I can't remember what the name is, but that
Cellmate Secrets. That's what it's
let's
called.
go with that. Yeah.
That's the show. Go check it out on Lifetime. Cellmate Secrets. It's the Susan Smith episode. I'm credited. I'm in there.
I didn't actually see her thing that I didn't I mean I keep hearing people say the baby killer,
Yeah.
and that's all I really get into it. I need to dig into it because usually that's
Yes.
kind of my
It's
jam.
a very interesting story. I didn't even know about it until I started working on the set. And I was like, "What's this murder? What's this case about?" And she's like, "Oh, she murdered her kids." And I was like, "What?"
You know, that's insane that people do that.
Hey, I'm into true crime, so I'm all into that. I'm like, "Oh, tell me
Um,
more."
I like that kind of stuff too. It's kind of funny because they say like women are all these like docile creatures and all this, and then we're like sitting down. You have like your mom and your grandma are all sitting down watching people who've killed people.
Yes,
And we're just like, I knew it. I
I
knew they
knew
did
it. I
it.
knew it. So you said you do freelance, and you did Green Giant and a bunch of other clients. What do you do as a freelancer? Do you do videography,
Yeah. So
photography?
I do a little bit of everything actually.
Okay.
I mainly love focusing on video and
Yes.
branding for different companies. But I've been doing freelance for about graphic design for about 15 years now, which is crazy
Wow.
because I'm half of my age. Um, and I also do photography, which I used to say, I had somebody ask me this weekend. I was at a grand opening for another person's business, and they were like, are you a photographer? And I was like, I dibble and dabble.
You
And because
dibble
I
and
never
dabble.
say that I am a photographer because I just don't want to oversell myself.
Yeah.
And I end up in a situation where I'm like, I was not prepared for this. But they were like, yeah, I'm a photographer. And, they were like, well, show me your stuff. And I was like, okay, I'll show you yours and you show me mine. And I saw their stuff and I was like, maybe I am a photographer. Like, maybe so freelance photography, graphic design, video, and video work, commercials, things like that.
Yeah.
Um, which is also you do video
I
stuff too.
do.
So that's kind of how we first started talking.
Yep. I do videography. I mainly see. I with my videography, I like to do more production, like short films, and when they need
Hmm.
people like for camera work, I go out there and help them with it. I also do video editing. I do photography. I do not do photo editing. I don't know how people can do that. I hate Photoshop. I hate it with a passion.
Oh, oh, really?
I do.
I used to do it constantly.
I'm like sitting here like, what does this do? I'm like clicking things and it's messing up
It's a lot.
everything. I'm
It's a
like,
lot.
all
And it's
right.
not as creative as people sometimes think it is. It's a little process oriented.
Yes.
Um, so I can understand that. I think that's kind of why I fell in love with video because I was like, okay, this is actually somewhat easier.
Yes.
And I feel like there's this ability that you get to tell a story
Yep.
that you have to, I mean, you put a lot of work into it, but you can make someone feel something,
Yeah.
whether it's sad or anxious or scared or whatever. You kind of, even if it's just commercial stuff or it's brand,
Hmm.
for a company, you get to make someone feel sad or have them think of something that didn't exist. It's kind of it's kind of similar to photography in that, you can take a picture and then you edit it and. But the thing with a photo is it's really quick.
Yep.
It's like, look at a picture, feel this, and then go on to something else. But with a video, you have the opportunity to capture their attention and to capture their interest. And that's always something that I really found was kind of magical about video, is
Mm.
just that being able to do that. Um, so I feel you, and it's
Mm.
way more work to do the photos.
It is. And like I can see like I can sit here like for example, we just wrapped production on my short film that's coming out very soon.
Mhm.
And I
And do that
direct
shameless plug. What's your sense?
I the only thing I can say about it is the title and it's Gorda. Um and so that's all I could say.
Okay.
I wrote and directed it, and then I had my friend DP, director of photography, with me, and so it was a small film. It's like not gonna be long at all, but like doing the director side because this is my first film where I'm not in it and
Mm-hmm.
I'm not the cameraman. I'm telling somebody, "Oh, you're the cameraman. This is what I want." And I was like, I love doing like directing type things
Right.
because I can like especially for something that I wrote, I'm like, okay, this is what I want. I wrote it based on how the house was laid out because we went location sighting for this one,
Right.
and I wrote it how the house was laid out, and just directing it, and then also now editing it. It's so much fun, and
Yeah,
it's more
directing
fun
is a
than
lot of fun.
and then editing for like a photo. It's like, oh, okay, I'll add a black and white filter there. All right, I'll maybe add the saturation a little bit. All right, that
Right.
looks good. No, editing for video, you're like, oh, can I edit? Let's see.
It
Like,
is fun, but a lot of people don't like it.
yeah, I don't understand
A
why. They're
lot of
weird.
people really don't. I usually meet people who really like the filming aspect of it, especially GPs. They really like the filming.
Yeah.
And then the two things that people ignore is sound,
Yep.
which I understand why sound is boring, but it matters because it can ruin your entire video if the sound, I mean, it doesn't matter how much work you put into it. If the sound is bad, the whole thing is bad.
And what's so cool about this
Um,
short film is that we recorded the whole video, right?
mhm,
And of course we had some lines to talk like to help us talk through this like
right.
the scene. But what I'm doing is like how I visioned this is like the video portions can be muted, but like we're going to add in sound to it separate because there's not really any lines to this. I didn't really
Mhm.
add lines to it. I mainly just wanted like to add more suspense to it. So
Yeah.
we're recording audio separate. Like today I have to go record like 7 minutes of just ambient noise just in my house. And then
Okay.
it's just like that's what I'm doing for it. It's a whole different type of film. It's gonna be good.
Right.
Trust me, it's gonna be good.
That's sometimes that's a really cool thing because
Mm.
older movies had to do that for
Yep.
pretty much everything. I would really love to see actually a thriller or something that combines like the old tactics that people used to have because you used to kind of have to mess with people's senses a lot.
Yes.
Not the jump scare type stuff. You really had to like be creative. Um, but I want to see a movie, some type of thriller. I don't want to say horror, but some type of thriller that combines those old tactics and like that new technology, and video quality, and to be
Yeah.
able to create something amazing,
Like I'm ready for like we have 3D where stuff jumps out at you. I'm ready for
right?
when like things start like you're watching a movie in a movie theater and like it's you feel somebody grab you or like you smell the house that they're in.
They have that.
They do?
I don't know where, but they have some like they're starting to make theaters like that where,
It's like
um,
4D or something.
yeah, it's a 4D experience. I mean, they have it for like rides at amusement parks. I
Yeah.
don't think they have it where you can just like go in and it's a typical theater.
Yeah.
I think you gotta pay some money and it's gonna be a special experience.
You gotta
But
pay some money,
you,
yeah.
yeah, yeah, my husband loves that kind of stuff.
Because I find these so cool. Like imagine like because in horror films they're like, oh, it smells awful in here, and you're like, I wonder what that smells like. Like,
You know
is it
what?
that
That
bad?
would well with like a horror movie where it's like, I don't know, a body or something and you can
Yep.
like smell it. Oh, that would be awesome.
Yep.
That's maybe that's the next project, right?
It is next project. My next film, guys. It's gonna have You're gonna be able to smell it.
Well,
Confirmed. No, I'm already writing my
call me
next
up,
film.
man, so I can work on that with you. That would be
All
so
right.
awesome.
I'm already writing my next film. I like to write.
Really?
I write shorts. I don't write features. I
Right.
can't write a feature. I can't sit there and make a
It's a
hun-
lot.
a 90-minute film. But my next film is gonna be super cool. We're going back to the old VHS look. Like we're recording it in 4:3.
Wow.
Yeah, I
That'll
like.
be
I go against the odds. All right.
right. Against the odds. All you need is some black skin,
That's right.
man.
Lights and audio. That's all you need to make it look good. All right, Terrilyn. This part of the show is sponsored by poddex.com. Do you know what poddecks are?
I have heard of them, but I
You
don't know
have.
full.
Well,
Yeah.
well, let me tell you a
Yeah.
little bit more about them. Pod decks are these cool deck of cards that allow you to interview guests super easy. All right. Sometimes you run out of questions. We're both interviewers. We run out of questions all the time. But these help you give you so many questions you can ask. Like, look at all that. Oh, you sit here. I have the interview deck right now, but I also have the Would You Rather, the What the Heck, the episode deck. They're all separate and super easy to use. You can go to poddex.com and use promo code TCLIVE. That's TC Live to get 10% off your first purchase. All right, Sarah, you ready for your first couple questions from the interview deck?
I I am. I was gonna say, are you gonna question me? Because that's what I
I
want right
am.
now.
I'm going to question
All
you.
right, give
This is
me
a
a question.
podcast.
Hit
We got
me
the
up.
questions.
I know. I was like, you're gonna hit me with a question, right?
Yes, this one's very deep. First
Okay.
question.
Yes.
How would you like to die?
How would I like to die?
First question.
I'm gonna go with the Titanic Rose. I would like to die an old woman in my bed, or helping someone.
I totally got that mixed
Well,
up. I got that mixed up. When you said Titanic Rose, I was thinking of Jack, and like you wanted
no, I don't want to
just
die like Jack. Jack was betrayed.
Jack was betrayed.
Jack was Jack was completely betrayed. I want to die either an old woman in my bed, or I want to die like Avatar style, helping out someone like a group of people fighting a war that who we couldn't have won, but not
Yeah,
like US military, more like I don't know, like a societal war, you know?
yeah,
I don't want to die in Iraq or something in a war I didn't know.
yeah. I wouldn't
Why I was
want to
there
pick
in the
that
first
either.
place.
What would
Yeah.
I? What would I pick? I don't know. I just want to go out quick. That's the one thing.
Great.
Just make it quick, or my
You
sleep.
don't want a slow and painful death?
No, not really. You know,
Oh, that's no
and
fun.
I know, right? You know what? Screw it. I want to see. I want to jump off a very tall building. That way, I'm face down. That way, I can see myself get closer and closer and closer, and then splat.
That sounds awful,
I
but
know it's terrible, isn't it?
it's your death, so you
Only
do
on
what
Trent
you,
Trouble Live. All right.
do what you feel is best.
Yeah, you do you. Next question. If you can instantly become one, what would you want to become an expert in? And I'm gonna make this hard on you. I'm
Right.
excluding videography and photography. Mm,
That would make me a very rich person.
it would.
Um, what would I want to be an expert in? You know this is okay. This is lame, but I would want to be an expert statistician. How do you say it? Statistician. I would
Statistician.
want to learn how to say statistician.
There you
And
go.
then after learning how to say it, I would want to be like an expert in all statistics. Like,
That's a good
but
one.
like not like, I work at a company and I'm an expert in statistics. More like I know the statistics for everything. Like if somebody asked me how many times in Trenton's life has he sneezed, I would want to be able to tell you.
That's a good one. I like that. All right.
Yeah, I was thought they need the technology for that. I want to know how many hours I've slept in my lifetime,
It's a
but
lot.
exactly me. I mean, that's what I want to know. So if I could know that, that would be.
That's a good
Can
one.
Poddeck help me do that?
If I could pick anything, I guess I'd be an expert in writing because I'm not good at it. But if I can just instantly just become like a fantastic writer, then I can make a lot more money too.
Like Harry Potter style?
Eh,
Your writing would probably be made into a movie, and then you'd
yeah.
basically be back where you started.
That way, if it becomes in a movie, then I can just direct it. And that way, the director who would write my books wouldn't
Ooh,
f it up
that's true.
because
That's
that's usually what
true.
happens.
So I feel like you cheated.
I did cheat. So,
You definitely cheated.
next question: what has been the worst job you've ever had?
The worst job.
Yes.
I was a I was a referee. I was a basketball referee. It wasn't necessarily the worst job. I was just maybe the worst person for that job. So I
Especially
was
for wait, really? That's kind of
yeah,
funny. Was it for
yeah.
men's or women's?
Oh, here's where it gets funny. It was for children. They're
Funny.
5-year-olds. So I was a YMCA basketball coach for 5-year-olds. And, I thought, it's like they're 5. What does it matter?
Yeah.
You put the ball. And so they're like, hey, have you played basketball? And I'm like, yeah, at a 5-year-old level, of course. And they gave me a manual and they were like, all right, so you go home, study this manual. And of course I didn't because, I'm like 18 and I'm like, these are 5-year-olds. And what does it matter? This is the YMCA. They don't even really keep score. Turns out they did keep score. And it wasn't the kids, but the parents were just insane.
Yeah.
Like, they were like, come on, ref, that wasn't the right call. And I'm like, these children just stop using sippy cups. Okay. So I had to learn all about basketball after my first game. I was like, this isn't going to work. I think I'm going to have to actually read this manual and understand this game if I'm
Funny.
going to do this job.
I think the worst job I've ever had was I worked at a pizza place. And I won't say what it is, but it was
It
so
was Domino's,
it
wasn't it?
wasn't Domino's. In fact, when
Okay.
I worked there, the manager wanted to go work at Domino's because he hated the
Oh,
place.
okay. So it was a level down or up from Domino's?
I, to me, Domino's is probably better than this place. I never eat at this
Really?
place because I worked there,
Right.
but I worked there and I worked there. Guess how long I worked there?
I'm going to go short 30 minutes.
I worked there for 2 weeks.
Okay.
So I still got a paycheck. So,
Right.
but it was so bad. Like I hated going to work. Like you have that feeling where you go to work and you just don't want to.
And you feel physically sick at the
Yes.
idea of going there?
Like you're
Yes.
just like I don't want to drive there. And like
Mm-hmm.
I would purposely just like not go. Like it was
Okay. So were
I
you fired?
no, I quit.
Okay.
I was like I'm out of this, man. This place sucks. And it was just I don't it was probably just the vibe of it. Like the people were just weird. And like
Well,
I felt like I did not belong. Like I walked in, I was
not
like,
everyone's cut out for the pizza business, Trent.
"Hey, man, I'm no
It's a
Papa
really
John."
cutthroat business. There's the pepperonis, you got the anchovies. Do you add pineapple with
And then,
chicken?
and then
Not.
they would have me on the pizza line, like putting this stuff on, and I would always be the worst one at it. I
Was
was,
it pie five?
was it?
Was it pie five?
No,
Okay,
I'll
I'm
tell you
glad
after
though,
the
because I
show.
love pie five.
I'll tell you after the show.
Okay.
But like I would be on the pizza line, and I sucked at it. I was the worst, and I would always be the one on like they like, all right, Trenton, you're on phones. I'm like, thank God, I can do phones. That's easy. But like, oh, that job sucked, and I
Yeah,
hated
that's
it.
okay.
Yeah,
That happens.
yeah,
That happens. It's life. Sometimes, you got a job that you're not cut out for,
yeah.
It's not you.
That's right.
You do you.
All right. If there was a sandwich named after you, what would be on it?
Named after me.
Yeah,
um,
the
if there was a
Terrilyn.
sandwich, it's funny because I don't really do sandwiches, but
You know
um,
what? How about this? I'll change it up for you. What is? Let's have. It doesn't have to be a sandwich. if you had a food item named after you, what food item would it be and what would be on it?
Okay. My favorite food is rice, like just hands down.
Really?
So yeah, it
That's
probably has
so
to be
like
some dish.
funny.
Why?
Just rice. Like to me,
Rice is good.
instantly, to me, of my mind, I instantly just go to plain white rice. I'm like, that's her favorite. That's so plain.
Literally.
But you probably like
So
add stuff to it and you make it all nice and cool. I'm like, no.
you would think I could eat rice with anything, first
Yeah,
of all.
I can too. But
Second,
like
I
to
could
me, it's just
definitely
like
eat plain white rice by
I
itself.
can too. I think I made it the other
Okay.
day.
You got to put it in a right. Here's how you know you love rice. Okay, you'll know if you've done this. You scoop it up into a ball straight out of a rice cooker and then just eat it. Nope,
Really?
clearly not a rice lover.
Yeah, I don't do that. I think I just microwave it or something. I don't know what we do.
What? No. So
I'm lame.
I grew up with some Filipino people in my house. My stepdad and my brother are Filipino. And
Okay.
so it's like a thing. You just like eat rice with anything and everything. I used to have like two rice cookers, one that was like a little tiny one, and people were like, you can take it to work. And I was like, that's a really good idea. I don't want to be a weirdo, but that is a great idea.
That is a good idea.
But I think I would have some kind of dish with rice in it.
Okay. Or how about
And
this?
I
Just
don't,
like you go to a restaurant and you're like, I want the Terrilyn, and it's just a big
yeah.
bowl of rice.
Oh, I would call it rice guys finish last.
That's good. I like that. I
I
like
know,
that.
I know. I don't know what would have in it though.
Just
It
rice.
wouldn't hurt. It would be good regardless of what was
It's
in
just
it.
plain white rice. Nothing added to
I
it. It's just straight from the cooker, and you just
don't
like,
think
there you
any,
go.
but you know what? Maybe it would be rice balls, rice cooker
What
balls.
if like
Just
every
nothing
like
in it.
what if it was food items like oh say like it's like a sandwich but it's made out of rice but it's in the rice is in the shape of a sandwich
Oh, that sounds terrible.
and it's just rice. It's just-
Rice blocks, basically.
yeah,
Wow.
yeah,
This got this dish got really sad really
it
fast.
did get sad, didn't it?
Became astronaut food, basically.
All right, Sarah, what is your favorite hero from for nonfiction like real person that's your hero and
Oh,
who's your
okay.
favorite superhero fiction?
Okay, so my favorite real hero and then my favorite not real hero.
Yeah,
My favorite real hero has got to be. Wait, he's dead. Does that count?
yeah,
Okay. It's not, I was gonna say Jesus. I was
good
thinking maybe that was in your
answer.
head. Oh, actually the guy from what it was Hacksaw Ridge.
Okay,
That's my favorite hero.
all right.
He's in the military, he's fighting for his country, he's fighting for his faith. Just do you know that guy, that
Yeah.
story?
I know the story. I don't know the guy's name at the top of my head.
I don't know the guy's name. But basically he was I think maybe he was, I don't know, his religion, basically he joined the military and wanted to be fight for his country, but he wouldn't hold a gun
Yeah,
because he didn't want to take
his
people's
name
lives.
was Desmond Doss.
Ah, yes, yeah, Desmond Doss, which is kind of a weird name for that time period that he was living in. But
Yeah.
yeah, and he saved, like, how many people did he save? Like he was like beaten up and made fun of for being in the military and not being willing to hold a gun, but he saved like a ton of lives. He was working as a medic,
75.
and yeah, he saved like 75 people on his own, like just carrying them back and forth from the front lines. And I think that was awesome because this whole thing was like, I just got to get one more person. And I just think the tenacity, I really admire people
Yeah.
who are just tenacious, even when against adversity,
Yeah.
you know? So my favorite non-real superhero, it's kind of becoming Wonder Woman,
You know what? Same here.
mostly from the movies. Huh?
Same here.
Yeah, she was killing it.
She is.
I mean, the
I think
last movie,
her movies like 84 was okay. I can watch it again. I could watch it
80,
again and when I say watch it again, I mean like okay, this is tolerable. But
Yeah,
like
it
the
was.
first movie was fire.
Yeah, the first one, I was like, oh my gosh, this is like a superhero. Like, ah, geez, I gotta get
Yeah.
my hair with this woman. Like, I gotta maybe, walk around with a belt on. And, I liked it. That was a good movie. So, current Wonder Woman, old school Wonder Woman, I mean,
Linda Carter? No.
eh,
Where all she does is like she spins and then she's in the costume.
yeah, pass. I'm gonna go with the newest one, and I can't
Gal
remember her
Gadot.
name for anything. Yeah.
All right, I like that. I think for me, my real life hero is always my mom.
Oh.
She annoys the crap out of me, but hey, man, I love her.
That's
So
a mom thing. I think part of the prerequisite for being a mom is being annoying. Like I
yeah,
think what will happen to me in my life is I'll wake up one morning and I'll be the most annoying person on the earth. And I think that just I don't know if it happens suddenly or slowly over time,
yeah,
but I think that you have to be annoying as a mom. I
you
think
had
that's
to.
like part of it. So I don't know if I'm annoying yet because I am a mom. No one's told me yet, you know?
Your kids will tell you.
Right, right. But I don't know, what will happen,
Yeah, and then I think
Like,
my like favorite superhero, like who's not a fiction. Uh, I won't say Wonder Woman because that one's already taken. I guess I'll say
Spider
I
Pig.
no Iron
I
Man.
saw that coming.
Iron Man's always been my favorite since the first movie.
Is it the intelligence?
It's more of just he's just cool. Like if I could be any hero out of like the Avengers, Iron Man's my first pick because
Rich
one,
and smart?
rich, smart, playboy. That's what you want. Next up would
Yeah, I
probably
got you.
next up would be probably Captain America.
Really?
Yeah,
You
I'm
know,
lame.
Captain America's kind of straight and narrow, man.
Yeah,
And
but he loves his country, man.
yeah.
And then I think after Captain America, I think it would be Hawkeye. Not gonna lie,
Okay, so yeah, I see the direction you're going with. The
Hawkeye is
average guy,
awesome. Okay.
the average guy with one thing that makes him like on the team.
Yes. Have you seen the SNL skit with Jeremy Renner, and it's the Avengers, and he's like, okay, Iron Man, go take down the big monster, Hulk smash, Black Widow, go fight, Hawkeye,
Right.
go do this, and Hawkeye's like, I'm out of arrows, I'm gonna go sit this one out, and he's like,
Yes.
how do you run out of arrows? Just pull them out, and he's like, that's unsanitary. He's like, they're the bad guys, who cares? And he's like, I'm out of arrows, guys, I'm done.
Done. That's all
That's
I got.
so yeah. All
You know
right.
who's the famous superhero though? It's
Who?
gotta be Batman.
Oh yeah,
Like people are really big on Batman, and I'm like, he doesn't even have a power. He doesn't even come out in daylight.
yeah. I agree. Like
He has no
he's
friends.
he's like what's the word? Overrated to me. So is Superman. Superman's overrated. He has all the
Yeah,
powers,
Superman. Yeah,
and his
yeah,
weakness is a green rock. Bruh, get out of here.
yeah. And it's kind of like when you're playing rock, paper, scissors, and someone's like, I've got a gun. Superman is the gun,
Yeah.
but it's like that person who says that is always annoying.
Yes.
So that's I'm just like Superman doesn't really he does everything, but he doesn't do anything. He doesn't have a personality.
He doesn't.
And
Thank God somebody agrees with this. Oh.
his disguise is glasses. Like it's literally like if I was
Well,
like,
do you know the thing they did right?
who am I?
Why he wears the glasses? You know what the
You don't know
purpose
who I
is?
am. Huh?
You know what the reason, like the backstory of the glasses are?
I don't know. He has bad eyesight.
No, he wears the
Or,
glasses and they change his eye color. That's it. That's it.
oh,
That's his
oh
secret
wow.
identity is his eye color.
Well, I don't know. When I just put mine on, did you see my eye colors change?
No.
I'm Superman.
Oh, Superman. All right, we have two more
Just a
questions.
Superman to you.
You have left or right. You pick.
Right.
Right? Make sure I got the right one. All right. Who'd
I'm
play you?
right-handed. So.
Who would play you in the Terrilyn Hicks the movie?
If I had a movie,
Yep.
Gabby Douglas. People said I look like her when when we were growing up, when I was growing up. So I'm just gonna pick her. Ooh, yeah. You know it would be flattering though if it was like Taraji P. Henson, you know?
Taraji P.
But
Henson.
it would also be kind of cool is if, I don't know, I was played by somebody who wasn't even black. It's a fun movie.
That would be a fun movie. See,
Probably
I can see the Gabby Douglas a little bit.
yeah, yeah, it'd probably be her. I mean, I don't think she acts, but
I think she
she's okay at
does.
it.
Yeah, she does. Nope, not really. Never mind. It's movies about
I
her.
don't know. She could do, ooh, if she could do some action shots, she got the
Yeah, she's a
gymnastry going
gymnast. Yeah,
on. Yeah, yeah. I'd be like, yeah, put some flips in there, you know?
put some flips in there. Can you do flips? You're like, no, but it's a movie.
Nah, I can't, but you can.
Oh,
You're me.
who would play me? I have one, but no one really knows who this guy is. He was a big child actor back in the day. Uh, Hallie Joel Osment would be probably the best person who looks like me.
He looks like you now, or he looks
He
like
looks like
you
me
when
now.
you're,
Like him
oh,
old
okay.
looks like me. Like
Oh, okay.
dead on.
All right, I got you.
Are you looking it up?
That's, I'm not, but
Here.
I could. Hallie Joel Osment.
Hallie Joel Osment. It's Haley and then Joel Joel and then Osment is Osment.
Oh.
That's
Ah, I see it. Yeah, I
that's
see it for
literally
sure.
me.
Oh, it's the guy. Yeah, I
Yeah,
know him. Wasn't that the Sixth Sense guy?
since he was
Yeah,
the
the guy
kid.
from Sixth Sense. Yeah, yeah, definitely,
This guy he
definitely.
would play me and I would play him in his movie.
I think they said that he said that that ruined his life.
It
That
did.
movie.
It did.
He was in Forrest Gump. Did you know that?
Was he really? Who did he
Yeah, he
play?
was in Forrest Gump.
Huh.
Um, the kid. He was Baby Forrest.
Funny. Yeah, he was big as a child actor.
Yeah. Then he just kind
He
of
was in
disappeared.
Country
Maybe.
Bears. That's right, he was.
Yeah, he was. Maybe, I don't know. Maybe he had so much money, he was like, I'm done. That's what the girl from Matilda did. She was
Well, now
like,
he's just in like a bunch
I
of
need
like
money.
random stuff now. Like I think the biggest thing he's been in lately was the extremely wicked, shockingly vile, and something. It's about Ted Bundy.
Oh,
He
really?
was in
Okay.
that. He's in The Boys on Amazon Prime Video.
Well, what is he like an extra or like a,
No,
like a
he's a
actor, like side?
he plays the so Ted Bundy's wife got rid of Ted Bundy, went to another guy, and the other guy was played by him.
Oh, maybe that's the thing. Once you've been in, some big feature movies, you can just do movies that you like and not really, and kind of stay on the sidelines, which
Yeah,
I think is actually really smart because you get to be semi-famous, like no one really knows who you are, but you still got that like thing that impresses people. You're like, oh, you seen Sixth Sense? It's funny. I work for a credit union full time, right?
hmm
Outside of my podcast and other side projects and freelancing. And I actually had a meeting today with the kid who used to be Spanky from Little Rascals.
really
Yeah. So every now and then we make a little Spanky joke. He still gets royalties from it, I think. Yeah. So he's
cool,
Spanky.
cool.
And we get to see him. I literally saw him today in a Zoom meeting. So,
Wow, interesting.
yeah.
All right.
Yeah, my
Well,
husband keeps trying to get me to get an autograph, but I'm like, it's not appropriate.
it's not, but
I
still,
know
you
him
could
like
probably do
that.
it.
It's like, yeah, it would be weird.
All right, Terrell. The last question today:
Okay.
which word or phrase do you use? That wait, sorry, I misspoke. Sorry, my dyslexia kicked in. Which
Oh,
word or
I'm sorry.
phrase do you
Your
most
dyslexia.
overuse?
What word do I most ever use?
Word
Awesome.
awesome is your word. What
Yeah, I
phrase?
use the word awesome a
What's the
lot.
phrase you use? That's the most like overused.
I used to say, I don't know which one I do now, but I used to always say everybody's got a key, like for everything.
That's a good one.
Like, I do.
I think the most overused word for me would be dope, and
Yeah.
phrase would be goodness. Like I
Goodness.
goodness, that's it. It's a phrase for me because
I haven't heard you say it
oh,
once.
you have to get me mad.
You say goodness when
I
you're
say
really mad.
goodness.
That's very Captain American of you.
Like
Ah,
like
goodness.
like when oh, like the other night, my dad, he's like, "Hey Tridden, why did you misplace this?" I'm like, "Goodness, dude, I don't know." And he's like, "Goodness." Like my parents go, "Goodness," to back to me to get me like riled up.
You really, told him.
I did.
Yeah, yeah, man.
Just
I'd hate to be in a
goodness.
fight with you.
Goodness. Well, Terrilyn, I want to thank you for coming on the show today. I had a blast speaking with you and hanging out with you. This time, I want you to just shout out everything. What's your Instagram, Twitter, Facebook, show again? Where can
Oh
they
yeah.
find you?
Yeah, so if you're looking to check out Against All Odds, you can go to our Instagram, and that is underscore Against All Odds. And you can also catch us on Facebook, Fishbowl Radio Network, and then also on our Against All Odds Facebook page. We'll have a group coming out soon and a website coming out soon after that. So there will be a ton of chances to catch us. Any of these entrepreneurs, there's some crazy, amazing stories. Or if you're like me and you're a little on the late side, then just go to your phone, type in iTunes and search Against All Odds, or get on Spotify and do the same thing. And there you are. You're gonna hear a awesome host. There's that word again, right?
Awesome. Dope.
So yeah, you're gonna hear
Goodness.
an awesome host. Go to episode 8, meet the host, learn a little bit more about me, and about some of my guests too.
All
Yeah.
right. Right on. And guys, next week, since we are closing it, we have 2 more episodes in the season, Terrilyn. 2 more.
Dang, only 2.
Only
Wow.
2. Next week, there's no guest. It's gonna be me. You guys love that, I know. Just me.
That's Trenton Chapel.
And we're gonna recap all of season 5 and the greatness that we had. And then the last episode, we're having AD Bonner, and he's gonna end it with a bang. It's a big surprise for the people here,
Dang.
but yeah, guys, we're
That's gonna
almost
be
done.
cool. I can only imagine. All
There was
right. Well, thank you so much.
yes, for real. Thank you for coming on. I can't wait to see the next episode of Against All Odds. I think I am working your show, so
Are you?
I think
It's
I'm your
gonna be
producer.
awesome.
Good, good. Well, again, guys, we're out of here. I hope you guys have a great day. Again, thank you, Terrilyn, for coming on, and we're out of here, guys. Peace.
Bye.